wait a minute. That Tank fight was so huge. You're telling me that wasn't the best, most committed Ryan Garcia we saw?
No, not at all. You got to remember after 2020 when I beat Luke Campbell, I think it was early 2021. I beat Luke Campbell. I had to go on my mental health break,
Right.
and from there, I took many steps backwards. I lost myself. I lost who I was as a fighter. I didn't even know really, couldn't really remember the things that I knew how to do, in the ring and trying to make that comeback. I felt a little rushed into it. I still had really bad habits from my mental health issues. I went to, drinking a little bit and just doing whatever I wanted. Just lost love for everything. I won't even say I lost love for boxing. I lost love for everything. I came back because I had to. It was wasting time and time was ticking. So I willed myself back into it, but without fixing those little things that were holding me back, mentally and how you need to be for the sport of boxing. Um, so I got back into it with takeout. Obviously, that wasn't my best performance because I was still figuring things out. And then, I started feeling my rhythm again when I was staying active and I fought Fortuna and I felt a little sharper. Still not my sharpest, but I felt sharper and I was ready to get into another fight. And I wanted to fight Tank. And, they iced me for a whole year. They kept on saying, you're gonna fight, you're gonna fight. If you take another fight, we can't fight you. They said it would be in December, so a lot of that stuff was throwing me off, and those habits, since they didn't die out, came back. So I wasn't committed. I wasn't the man I am now, and that loss really woke in something in me. It woke in me to look at myself and look on. How I could be better, and I just took myself back to when was I my sharpest? When was I, my best? And I look back to my younger days, and I was like, okay, so I got to get that commitment. So I fully committed. I trained with Derek regardless if there was a fight coming. I was with him in Vegas for the Spence fight, and I was just traveling everywhere he went. Not only that, I scratched out a lot of those habits that I was having, and I just put my full focus, my full mental focus on boxing, and just was committed. And now, man, I'm so sharp. It's actually disgusting how sharp I am. I literally could cut somebody with one of my punches. It's disgusting. No, but I'm just happy. I'm just happy because of where I'm at right now. I have that peace inside. So like nothing right now can get to me because I know where I'm at right now, as a person and as a fighter. So yeah, that's what I mean by I wasn't as committed.
It's interesting because when you talk to guys at your level and they suffer their first defeat, you hear a lot of like, yo, everybody around me left. I may have had some depression. That was such a mega event when you fought Tank. Immediately after, what was it like dealing with your first professional loss?
It didn't have effect on me. Surprisingly, it just didn't feel like it was me. So I didn't feel like I lost. I just felt like a version of me lost that wasn't me. Like who I am as a fighter and how sharp I am. I'm way sharper than that. I'm way better fighter than that. And so it didn't have that type of, salt on it. It was like, okay, I lost, but like I just felt like nothing mattered to me. I was so depleted and so defeated internally of other things, and the weight cut didn't help, and on all the things I had to go through, I just didn't feel like it was me at all. So that's why it didn't have effect on me, but it did wake up some hunger in me because about 2 months later, I thought, oh shoot, like I lost, like no matter what happened, I lost, and that like I don't like losing, like so it woke up that competitor in me, and it drove me to this where I'm at now. That's where it started, and uh, it's tough, but again, I feel I'm the better fighter. I don't care what anybody says. I know I'm the better fighter, and if I get my rematch, I'm gonna beat him. And regardless of the outcome of the first fight, I know I could come back and I could beat him. So my whole plan is to win a world title at 140 and dominate 140 and 147, both of those weight classes, and earn my spot. I want to earn it. I want to earn it. I want to beat some guys that I have to go through. If it has to be Teofimo Lopez, if it has to be a Devin Haney, whoever, I will do it to get that rematch and show everybody I could beat them.
When you look back at that Tank fight and I know the All Access they were talking about. Oh, did he get you on the rib? Did you have an injury going into that fight? Was it the
Yeah.
rehydration clause? What was it where he when he placed that shot that you said, "Hey, look, man, I'm going to just take this count and this fight is over."
No, well, I did go in the ring with a rib injury, separated rib from
Mm,
sparring. I was dehydrated, and it was like one of the first shots of sparring. I didn't even get hit hard. My rib just sunken in, and I had to go to the hospital. Spent there some time, and I couldn't even run. I couldn't do anything. It was about 2 weeks before the fight. There was nothing I could do. I decided that I wasn't going to pull out. Too much time has been put into this, and too much things, went into making this fight happen. I wasn't gonna pull out. On top of that, I had to cut the weight, so I had everything stacked against me. But it wasn't. I made this not about me. I made it about the sport, and people are gonna say bad things about that. But for me, I always loved the sport with all my heart, and I was bored of the sport. Don't get me wrong. The sport was boring. Nobody was fighting each other. It was trash. There was no energy. And then I brought the energy back to life for one night. In Vegas, it finally felt like boxing was back on fire for a day, for a night. Finally, we get to feel that excitement before that bell rings once again, like a Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya fight or a Mayweather Pacquiao. That excitement, and that's what I always wanted to bring to the sport. And I seen that was my opportunity, and I still went with it. So again, that's why nobody could tell me who I am, and nobody could. They could bash me all they want. They wouldn't have done that. And you see now in people negotiating for fights when they bring up rehydration clause, nobody wants to do it
yeah.
because they know really what it is. And if you don't know boxing, then you don't know actually what I did. They don't. Not only do I have to cut all that weight, and I've been at 135, 132 since I was 17 years old. And I'm not a small guy, so people that know boxing know the risk I took. I put my health in danger. I put a lot of things in danger, but I trusted that it's going to better off the sport and I'm going to be okay because, things are going to work out. And I made a bunch of money. I did good there. I provided life changing money for my family. I can't be mad about that. But now it's a whole different goal. I got that out of the way. I'm a superstar. I made a bunch of money. What's next? I want to be one of the best in the sport. I want to be the best in the sport and get a title. So that's my main goal.
Are you surprised at all what you guys, and I'm talking about what you and Tank did for the sport because the numbers were astronomical. No one has really achieved that at all this year when you talk about pay per view buys. But then it was almost as if, Spence and Crawford were like, okay, well, you know what? Let's get it done. Ryan and Tank are fighting, and it's now all of a sudden guys are taking risks who were before maybe they were protecting that now they're like, no, bump it. He's in his prime, I'm in my prime, let's get it on. Are you surprised what you guys did for the sport?
No, I'm not surprised. That was my intention going in. I wanted to set the world on fire. I wanted to set the sport on fire. And I kind of just I always knew that that's what it was gonna do. Is somebody had to do it, and I laid out the new blueprint. The blueprint isn't trying to be that perfect fighter and trying to protect that. Oh, it's getting the fights on, and giving the fans what they want. That's what's gonna make the big pay per views. People have seen, there's only one Floyd Mayweather. Is what I'm saying. There's only one Floyd Mayweather. There's not many Floyd Mayweather. You got to be your own person, and that's what's going to separate you from everybody else. I'm gonna show my greatness through a loss. That's the difference. People could, oh, greatness is only winning. No, greatness is how you come in from a loss. We've seen it time and time again in other sports. Tiger Woods, his comeback inspired me. So many other athletes that Muhammad Ali when he came back from going to jail for denying service and then comes back loses to Joe Frazier, but then comes back and wins. That's my heart. That's where I'm at. I'm here to make a stand. Like the last stand, I'm here to make a stand, and then come back and show you who I am. Because I'm bigger than boxing. I'm not just boxing. I'm much more deeper than boxing. I'm gonna handle this sport. You're gonna see now. I'm putting my full dedication to it. But that I'm bigger than the sport, and I'm gonna show everybody when I come back. And